Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Again, Thomas here, and Megan is here on a FaceTime audio call. Tonight in this video, or right now in this particular video, I'm going to tell you guys a story. But it's not going to be a good story, though. So sit down, get yourself a Nanaimo bar if you live in Canada, a Nanaimo bar, and a glass of Dr. Pepper, or if you live in the States, well, I don't know, do whatever you want. Grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, whatever you want. But this is going to be not a minute story. It's not going to be a long one, but it's not going to be a minute. So I want to tell you guys something that happened here back on Friday, September 9, 2016. Well, for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel since the beginning, since I started doing my YouTube videos 3 years ago, you guys know about the fire that we had here at my house. But for those of you who are new to the channel, we had a really bad fire here at my house, and my dad's beautiful at the time pre-owned certified Lexus, it was a 2005 Lexus ES330, caught on fire in the garage. No, I wasn't anywhere near the fire, in case anybody's going, oh, were you near the fire? No, I wasn't anywhere near the fire. I wasn't in the house. I was actually outside. I was just chilling out. A good family friend of mine had just left. It was 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a beautiful Friday evening. So after my friend left, I went inside and I called my dad to see what he was up to, and he was fishing. And so that was at almost 6 o'clock p.m. And it's kind of funny because let's go back a little bit. At 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my friend thought that she smelled a burning smell in the garage, but we didn't think anything of it. So anyway, at 6 o'clock, I was just hanging out at the edge of my driveway. I was just hanging out, doing my own thing, kind of in La La Land a little bit. It was like a beautiful day. I was just doing my own thing. And all of a sudden, I smelled smoke, and I thought it was my next-door neighbor, Mario, burning stuff in his chimney, because he does that a lot. But then I heard a big boom, and I thought, uh-oh, what was that? Like, oh, shoot. Then after the second one, after the second big boom, I thought, uh-oh, I better do something fast, and I better do something now. So I actually didn't panic. I actually was very calm. I just said, after the third boom, I just talked to myself, like I whispered to myself. I said, God, please help me. What do I do? Please help me. And instinctively, I walked over to my neighbor's house across the street, and the nice lady came outside, and she said, is everything all right? And I said, well, I'm completely blind, but I think there's a fire in my garage. And so her husband ran over to my house, and he called 911, and he tried to get a hose. He tried to find our garden hose and put out the fire, and he tried. It didn't work. So then finally the police and the fire people got to my house, and by then the fire was in full effect, and my dad, heard about it and everything, and the police called him and said, there's an emergency at such and such address. You might, get home immediately. And so he sped home. He was 35 minutes away. He sped home as fast as he could. He got home as fast as he could, and then, we were on the news, actually. Well, I wasn't. My dad was. And it was a big deal. It was scary for me because, I didn't know. I mean, yeah, I was safe across the street with my with my neighbors, but I didn't know if the house was gonna blow up or what the heck was going on. Because obviously can't see what's going on, so it was very scary for me. And so anyway, I don't want to go on and on here, but the car was destroyed. It burned to the ground, and we got our whole house done. Actually, we got an upgrade. So my dad thinks the fire is a blessing in disguise because we got a new garage, and also of course the insurance paid for it, but like we got a cleaning crew in my house, and they cleaned the whole house, even my room they cleaned. Um, and so my bedroom they cleaned, and it was just a big deal. It took them 2 months, you guys, to get the house back together. And it was funny because when the fire was going on, the first two thoughts, of course, I wasn't thinking about myself. I was thinking about my keyboard and my iPhone. I thought, oh my God, what if my keyboard burns? I knew it was still at that time under warranty, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, my cousin got me the keyboard that year for my birthday. I said, oh my God, he spent all this money and now it's gonna burn. And I said, oh my God, what am I gonna do? The iPhone, because I know how expensive iPhones are. So it's just amazing when something happens that you don't think about yourself. You think about your wife or your husband or your kids or your mother or your father, or your brother or your sister or your electronics, and but luckily the fire did not go into the room where the keyboard is. In fact, I'm in that room right now. It did not go in the room where the keyboard is. And my phone was fine because my phone was in my room. And that night my dad and I stayed at my aunt and uncle's house that night because we couldn't sleep here because, well, they didn't want us, the fire people didn't want us to, I guess for safety reasons. So, yeah, anyway, so we got a new front door and we got a new garage, and one of our neighbors, he's a contractor, he did the work on our house, and he did a beautiful, beautiful job. And like I said, it took 2 months for us to get the house back together. But like my dad said, the fire was a blessing in disguise. Um, you know, but yeah, that's the story about the fire. I know it's old news, but it's something I'll never forget. It's very, very. It was very scary for me. I mean, I wasn't panicking or anything, while the fire was going on, but a lot of thoughts were going through my head. That's for sure. Like, is everything going to be all right? Is the house going to be all right? So it definitely was very, very scary. And when the police said, "Do you want to call your dad and tell him what happened?" I mean, I thought he was going to be pissed off because here he had this beautiful car that he loved and it caught on fire. But he actually wasn't pissed off. But anyway, so yeah, so and my dad got a new window put in his bedroom because the firemen I think they broke the window because they wanted to make sure there was no fire in the walls when the fire was going on. They wanted to make sure that that the fire wasn't in the walls. They also smashed the front door because they smashed it in because they wanted to or they broke it down because they wanted to make sure that everything was okay in the house. So that's why we got a new front door, and my dad got a new window in his bedroom. So yeah, that's what happened, you guys, and that's that. So that's the story of the fire. Um, and like I said, it happened over 2 years ago, but it's something I will never forget. And it's funny, after the fire, I guess maybe it was a few months later, my dad at the time had a leased Nissan at the time. And one night I had a dream that caught on fire. And in the dream, I smelled smoke, and I quickly shut my garage door and ran upstairs, and the dream ended. So, and like that Christmas, that Christmas day, I went to my cousin Ryan's house, and he was having he put on a fire in his fireplace, and the crackling of the fire and the smell of the fire brought back memories, of a few months back when the car caught on fire. But yeah, that's a pretty powerful story. But I don't know, I just felt like sharing it with you guys. But it definitely, like I said, not to repeat myself, it was definitely scary for me. But the pros are, hey, we got an upgrade. We got a new garage, we got a new front door. So that is that. Did you want to say anything?
Wow, that is a very powerful story, and yeah, you go through something and you remember little bits and pieces of it, and I'm just glad you're okay, and thanks for sharing that. And I knew about it before, but it was good that Thomas was able to share it in full on here, and thanks for sharing that one.
Well, thanks so much for so much for listening. And you're welcome. And the cause of the fire, in case anybody is wondering, was the starter motor there was a starter. What was happening was, and I really paid attention when the fire investigator was here, and I asked him questions. I said to him at the time, I said, "Do you know what caused the fire?" And he said, "Well, we're not really sure, but we think it was the starter that caused the fire, the starter motor. That's the thing that starter starts the car." So what was happening was the starter was cycling and cycling and cycling and cycling on its own without the key being in the ignition and without the car being on. So, and I guess the wires heated up and the car caught on fire. Now, the original starter was replaced by these by these mechanics who we used to go to, because the original starter burnt out. Then the starter that they put in burnt out. Now, it wasn't a Lexus starter, it was a remanufactured starter. So that starter burnt out. Then the third starter they put, of course, they put the two starters in for free, because they were on the first one they didn't put in for free, but the second one and the third one, they put those in for free because they were under warranty. But the third starter was the one that blew up. Well, it didn't blow up. The third starter was, the starter that made the car catch on fire. So it definitely was a very scary experience. But the pros are, at least nothing happened to me or my dad or anything in the house. We did lose some things that were in the garage, but nothing of great value. Thank God the Corvette didn't get burned. It's a good thing the Corvette didn't get burned. The Corvette just got soot damaged. It just had soot damage. And so, and thank God my weed whacker didn't catch on fire, or my leaf blowers, or the rotting lawnmower, or the ATV got badly burned, but that we fixed it. But, it was definitely a scary experience. And like I said, not to repeat myself, but it's definitely something I will never forget. So, yeah, there you go. Yep. So anyway, you guys, we're going to go, but I'd like to recommend a few YouTube channels before we go. Of course, I'd like to recommend my wonderful and awesome girlfriend Megan's YouTube channel. It's called Going Up. It is an amazing YouTube channel, and she talks about amazing things on her channel and does amazing things on her channel. And please check out my good friend Nikki Wunderlich's channel. Would you?
WUNDERLICH.
Thank you so much. And please check out Depression to Expression. That's an awesome YouTube channel for people who have mental illness. And also check out Yellow Brick Cinema. That's an awesome YouTube channel for people. Well, you can listen to different music. Like you can listen to meditation music, music for studying, and deep sleep music. So you all take care and be blessed. And Megan and I will be back with to do another video tomorrow night. So you all take care, and thank you so much for watching this video or listening to this video. You guys are awesome and amazing.